Hello, my name is Heidi Campbell, and I am um, currently a media specialist at Parkview High School in Gwinnett County. This is my first year as a media specialist, and I love my job. Um, I had no idea that I was going to be a media specialist. If you had asked me 2 years ago, I would have said, no, I'm working on my instructional technology EDS degree because I want to find more useful things to do with my students in my classroom, and possibly might want to teach online. Um, and I graduated in December with my EDS from West Georgia, and the idea that I would become a media specialist quickly fell into my lap. And I'd always sort of thought of that as this dream job, but never pursued it because I was an English teacher for 26 years. And by the time I sort of thought about it seriously, I was like, you know what? I retire at 30 years. I mean, why do this now? But the job fell into my lap. And so here I am in the media specialist certification program, thrilled at the relevance of these courses that I'm taking because I'm actually doing this stuff every day, and I see where it really does have so much relevance. Um, so I think I covered all the intro stuff. So similarities and differences between these medias. I do have notes next to me, but they are not a script, I promise. So if I'm looking down, I'm turning 50 this year, and my brain cannot do anything without notes. So, similarities. The similarities that I recognized after doing the readings. The first one was that all of these things require critical thinking, because students have to interpret what they're seeing, what they're reading. They have to analyze these images and these messages. And so all of them kind of hold that as a similarity in structure. The next thing I noticed is that all of these things are skills. They are skills that need to be perfected and worked on and taught and practiced. The next thing I noticed is that all of these literacies must be analyzed for truth. Especially nowadays with video editing, to make things look so real, and Photoshop to, I mean, look at the Bernie Sanders memes all over the place. You know, Photoshop, Bernie Sanders really wasn't sitting, in my living room the other day. So they have to be analyzed for truth. And then finally, students really need to be able to create as a result of studying these literacies to make sure that they master it. They're not really going to understand the meaning behind everything, the meaning behind images and videos and whatnot, unless they do it themselves. I thought there was a really cool quote in the Dando 2016 article that we read, and I will just read that real fast. John Fry Williams' analogy frames libraries as no longer being grocery stores stocked with ingredients, but kitchens where ingredients are combined to create something. Oh, I just thought that was so cool, because I could totally see that. This idea of kids needing to create in order to really master their learning, and it's something that I always tried to do in my own classroom. Is once they would practice these skills and learn these skills, developing these potential projects for them to do that would allow them to really showcase their work was pretty important. Okay, on to differences. Information literacy is different because it requires the most reading out of students. They have to process written text and information to evaluate and analyze what they're reading. Visual literacy is different because it doesn't require them to really read anything. It requires them to analyze photographs, and they don't have to use listening skills or reading skills. They have to really take a look at the context of what they're seeing. And one of my favorite things that I read in this week's reading was the chapter where they talked about the bride here in America, showing a picture of a bride with a white dress and showing a picture of a bride in, let's say, China, who might be wearing a red dress. And in order to really interpret those visual images, you would have to know the background of um, where these ideas came from in terms of um, custom. So visual literacy is all about analyzing pictures. Media literacy is different because it also doesn't require you to look at a still picture necessarily or written material. It requires you to look um, at what is being seen and heard, and taking those pieces of videos, and really analyzing it, not only for structure and how it's done and how it's made, but the content as well. Um, and technical literacy is understanding actual technology and understanding how to access it, how to understand it, how to manage it. Um, and so the way I see it all, I struggled to find a difference and call literacy by itself, which was listed as one of the 5 things, as its own little entity, because it seems to me that that's like a big umbrella. Literacy is the umbrella, and these other 4 things are sort of the spokes that make up the umbrella. So literacy to me seems like the overarching term that kind of the greatest hits CD that has all these other literacies on it. So hopefully I think I've gone over time. So have a wonderful day.